Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So today we have some more news from Blackrock. Blackrock is getting very, very, very serious about Bitcoin. I would say they're going all in on Bitcoin. Absolutely fantastic and big news. So let's talk about what's going on in Blackrock. Also, more news about Ethereum and one potential threat to the entire ecosystem. Is Terra 3.0 in the making right now? Let's talk about it, and let's talk about everything else that's going on in the world of crypto. So smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media, check out CryptosRUs.com, and make sure you follow brand new channels, including my React channel, which I actually did a movie review for the first time. I react to a movie. I thought it was pretty good, Prey. So if you guys haven't watched that yet, make sure you do so. All right, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me change my screen here. Let's do this. Bitcoin is a little bit under 24,000. A little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. It needs to take a breather. I did mention this morning, even though things are looking fantastic, on a shorter time frame, like, the 4 hour, you could see stochastic RSI a little bit higher, right? It's okay. It takes a breather every so often, and when it does, it consolidates, and then it gets ready to move, right? So tomorrow, we could definitely see a continuation of what we have been seeing for the past few weeks. And not only is it for Bitcoin, but for Ethereum, which was above 1900 this morning, but it's barely down 1883, so it's still holding very well. And even though we're seeing a little bit of reds right now, but the entire market has been going up. We're at 1.14 trillion, and we are definitely moving higher. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Today, the market's kind of mixed. Tomorrow, right now, futures market is kind of like, kind of even right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow, right? I did want to mention a few car manufacturers because I did see Rivian reported today, and it was okay. It was okay, but they're still losing boatloads of money. But what I was really curious about was how many cars did they deliver in Q2? And they said only 4,467. This is the reason why those of you guys that order a Rivian will never get it, because they can't produce any cars. But at least 4,400 is better than Lucid's 679, which is just pathetic, right? So again, the distance between Tesla and everyone else in terms of EV space is so vast. It's like one is on Mars and one is back here on Earth. So I just want to point that out. I mean, I even though I have a Rivian on order, I don't know. I would not hold on to their stock right now. Anyways, moving on from there, what else is going on today? A couple other things. Celsius, a lot of creditors for Celsius does not like the fact that they're trying to sell off their mined Bitcoin. Basically, people do not trust what Alex Mashinsky, what he's going to do with that mined Bitcoin. And there's a lot of things coming out in terms of how much he's still paying his officers and himself and all this stuff, right? So, yeah, it's looking ugly, to say the least. So, basically, Celsius has lost all trust and faith, and we'll see what happens as this bankruptcy hearing keeps moving forward. Also, speaking of, I guess another project that people like to use, Robinhood. There's 1 million people on the waitlist for their Web 3.0 wallet. That's quite amazing. This may be the reason why Coinbase has not done so well, because Robinhood stole a lot of their thunder. Although, let's not forget, Coinbase just hooked up with Blackrock, which I'm going to get to a little bit. But it shows you how many people are still interested, especially the millennials that are using Robinhood, right? The ones that are coming in for the first time. You know, they want to safeguard their crypto. They want to be able to transfer it out, right? So that's what this Web 3.0 will do. I'm not so sure if it's a non-custodial wallet, but it will allow you to be able to transfer your crypto out. So that's a start. And if it is a non-custodial wallet, then that's even better. This Coinbase wallet is non-custodial wallet, so who knows? Maybe Robinhood's new wallet will be as well. So that would be a step in the right direction. All right, so wanted to get those off right away. Now let's talk about the juggernaut, okay? The main topic of tonight, and that is BlackRock. First of all, I did see U.S. regulators, and this includes both the SEC and CFTC, considering asking large hedge funds to disclose crypto exposure, right? So there may be a lot of hedge funds right now that have bought Bitcoin or have large exposure in crypto-related companies. So the regulators want to know about it. And if this is pressed forward, then maybe we'll see the true extent to BlackRock and how much they're really, how much they really have. Because BlackRock's been talking about getting into Bitcoin for quite some time, right? So today, they're launching something even more than what they have with Coinbase. So they're going to launch their very first private trust, which will give institutional investors direct Bitcoin exposure, right? So they're going all out with Bitcoin now, right? Especially now, you got to figure while Bitcoin is low, there must be enormous demand, right? And or BlackRock has so much exposure themselves already, they're ready to really boost things up. One of the two or both, right? So this comes right after the recent partnership with Coinbase and Coinbase Prime, which also allows institutions to get into Bitcoin and crypto, right? So not only do they have their own trust now, but they also allow people to buy directly from Coinbase with BlackRock's help, right? And who knows? Who knows how much they're actually holding? They may be holding billions of Bitcoin, right? And then maybe one of the reasons why U.S. regulators want hedge funds to disclose because they just don't know, and we don't know, right? But I do know BlackRock's been talking about Bitcoin since 2020. They said it's interesting. We may start dabbing into it and this and that, and they've gone quiet for years until recently. Boom, nothing but Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. So they really... To me, they are going all in on Bitcoin. And who knows? They may even publicly announce that they bought Bitcoin. I'm waiting for that day to come. But I think their reach is far beyond just these two things that we have just heard of. I think we're going to hear more about it as time goes on. But so I think this will be absolutely huge for Bitcoin. Not to say, I know some of you guys may be thinking, well, do we really want BlackRock in, right? Probably not. Probably not, seeing how BlackRock basically, they dominate all industries. They have $9 or $10 trillion worth of assets under management, right? But one thing is for sure, if they're involved, they're going to bring a ton of money into this space. A ton of money, not even billions, could possibly be trillions that they're going to bring into this space over time, right? It's absolutely enormous. So let's see what happens. All right. So I want to lead off with that. So obviously, big news. Also, I was curious, just overall, Bitcoin, I haven't checked the liquidations recently, right? You figure with Bitcoin rising up, right? We almost hit 25,000 today. We could hit it in the near future. You got to figure we have a lot of short squeezes, right? We have a lot of short liquidations. And we do, but unfortunately, look at the longs. We have long liquidations too. If you're looking at it, like how could there be a long liquidation over here, about 84 million, that's within 4 hours, while Bitcoin is going up, right? How is that possible? It's possible because there's people that are using 50 or 100x leverage. So even if Bitcoin goes down like $100, they get liquidated. That's why you see it. We should see like no green while Bitcoin is going up, right? It should be all red, meaning short liquidations. But unfortunately, there's still too many greedy traders. Even on the long side, there's been more greedy traders on the long side than the short side. So unfortunately, we do see a lot of short liquidations, but we're still seeing long liquidations. That's not what we want to see, right? Don't play with leverage. And if you have to play with leverage because you think you're an expert trader, well, don't throw a 125x leverage. Don't throw a 75 leverage, right? Maybe downplay to 5 to 10x, you'll still be fine, right? You don't need to go 125x and then get wrecked while Bitcoin is going up. It doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So just want to show that. Still too much leverage being thrown out there. But also, this is interesting for Bitcoin. You know, we always talk about, well, at least I talk about growing number of addresses, you know, growing number of holders, growing fundamentals, all that, right? This is pretty new, and this is part of growing fundamental. The network settled $2 trillion. $2 trillion of transactions just in July alone, right? Now, obviously, that was not peak. Peak was $8 trillion back in November. Think about it. We have a distributed network not controlled by any country or company or any single individual or entity that's settling and processing transactions in the trillions, right? What other network out there does this? There's no other network out there that isn't regulated by some entity or bank or a Fed or a country or someone, right? But we have Bitcoin that's doing this already, and this is only the beginning. Imagine when we really get global adoption, that trillion will turn into tens of trillions, hundreds of trillions, right? Per month, it's going to be absolutely enormous. So just throwing that out there. Something that we don't talk about a lot in terms of how much transactions or dollar amounts of settlement, but it's absolutely enormous. So good stuff. All right, moving on. Ethereum now has I've been talking about go early. The test net, the merge was successful. So now the new merge, the main merge is coming in September, estimated around the 13th to 15th of September, so mid-September, right? But what's interesting is Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, is looking to deploy their own validators in 2023. So they're getting involved. Obviously, Argentina has hyperinflation issues, right? So they're actually going to run their own validator nodes. So just to throw it out there, it's not just individuals that will be running validator nodes. There's cities that plan on doing so too. So that's quite interesting, right? But a lot of people looking forward to that merge. It's coming. So just about one more month. That's it. One more month, and then we'll have a proof of stake Ethereum. So think about that. All right. What else is there? Well, I was thinking about making this a totally separate topic, a totally separate video. In fact, I was debating whether or not to make this the main topic, but I didn't want to throw too much FUD while we're in recovery and we have so much goodness going on. But this is causing a lot of people to say WTF, including Vitalik, including everyone that lost a boatload of money in Terra and UST. So we have MakerDao, who is also a stablecoin maker, a crypto lender, right? That's planning on converting all of their USDC into ETH. They plan on YOLOing USDC into ETH, which is causing major concerns because right now, the way their stablecoin DAI is made up, basically it's pegged to USD. It's like a one-to-one relationship. And they do have an algorithm. So the DAI's $1 peg is backed by USDC, but there's also an algorithm that kind of forces to peg. And there's been times where it's a little scary, but overall it's been keeping this peg over the years, right? But now, because of what's going on with USDC, with Circle, with the US Justice Department, MakerDao is like, okay, we want to back DAI with something that's truly decentralized. We don't want it to be backed by USDC, which could potentially be, can be confiscated or blocked by the US Justice Department, and Circle can control it. So they want to get into something else. But there's really no stable coins that they trust. So the co-founder is thinking that, well, okay, we're going to convert all of our USDC into ETH and somehow reform the peg, redo the algorithm so that the DAI is pegged at $1, but somehow using ETH to back it up, which, of course, ETH has plenty of volatility, right? We have seen ETH go down 50%. This is what caused Terra and Terra UST to depeg because of how much UST dropped, right? In case you guys need a reminder, take a look at Luna. This is pre everything that has happened, 2.0 and all that stuff. But you could see when the UST price depegged and came down, that's what really brought Luna down, right? So there's a lot of fear that if they buy ETH and ETH goes down, it's going to bring down DAI, and then DAI is going to bring down Maker, and then it's just another Terra situation, right? So everyone's thinking this is a horrible idea. Even Vitalik chimed in and said, this is risky and terrible. If ETH drops a lot, value of collateral would go way down, and CDPs would not get liquidated, but the whole system would risk become a fractional reserve. So then someone asked him, well, so what do you suggest? Well, he's like, well, maybe non-ETH collateral should be allowed to exceed 20% while limiting 20% for some. I mean, basically, it's up in the air right now, but it just sounds like it's a horrible idea. I get how Maker maybe want to move off of USDC because of centralization concerns, but moving to ETH is not a good idea. As much as I like ETH, but to back a stablecoin based on the stability of ETH, forget about it. ETH is not stable. We have just seen it go up and down 50% over the last few months, right? So we don't want stablecoin to be backed by ETH. Anyways, so I'm throwing that out there. Let's see what happens. Maybe the co-founder just throwing an idea out there to see if it sticks. But so far, I think many agree with me that that's just a horrible, horrible, horrible idea. So hopefully it does not go through. All right, what else is there? Someone mentioned this in the chat. Binance, their investment arm, Binance Labs, invests in ANKR, which is like a staking project. Some of you guys may have heard of it or used it, but you could run your own nodes. You could do liquid staking. They're kind of like staking / node project, right? But anyways, Binance invested in them. So basically a big investment and big deal for ANKR. So that's pretty good. Also Solana. Solana reported their very first Validator health report. Obviously, recently there's a big hack. They're still trying to investigate. Slope Wallet says they're not sure that they're actually responsible for the hack. They said there was some vulnerability, but they're not sure that's the real reason why there were, all these wallets got drained. So, and Phantom is saying no, we're not affected, and so that investigation is still going on. But Solana, I think, trying to do some, damage control, released this health report, and according to it, there's about 1,900 block producing nodes, and 88% of them is run by individual entities. Okay, so that's good. But overall, there's about 3,400 validators across 6 continents. So basically, Solana is saying we're decentralized. All right, we're decentralized, but I don't know if all these block producers or validators, I don't know if they're really, I don't know how to put this, but I don't know if they're helping resolve, or do they help all these network outages that we've been seeing, right? No, I'm going to say no, because that's due to just how Solana is in terms of no fees, and they get bot attacked, they get denial of service attacks, and they suffer this hack, which still is unresolved, I guess, because we don't know how it actually happened. So even though the network seems pretty healthy, pretty decentralized, but obviously not as decentralized something as Ethereum or Bitcoin, but there's thousands of nodes, And even though this is good, there's still some fundamental issues that they need to resolve before it could go up. And if you, in fact, you know, if you look at Solana's recovery so far, it's actually been trailing a lot of the other L1s. I think it's due to this, but can they resolve it? There's still plenty of time, right? There's still time. Can they solve it and move forward? I certainly hope so, because there's still time. All right, and then lastly for Polkadot, in case you guys are wondering, people always ask me, why do you not talk about Polkadot? There's not a lot of Polkadot news, but this is a good one. There's going to be a stablecoin bridge that allows you to use Bitcoin and participate in DeFi projects within Polkadot. And it's very similar to MakerDao, how it is. Basically, you deposit Bitcoin, and then you get a synthetic Bitcoin within Polkadot, and then you could use that synthetic Bitcoin to go ahead and use in DeFi projects that you wish, right? So something good for Polkadot. All right, that's pretty much it. You know, overall, the whole market is still doing very well in recovery mode. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Usually Fridays, pretty good. Heading into this weekend, are we going to see more upward movement? Are we going to finally break 25K? Right? That's what I want to see. So let's see if it'll happen. All right, let's do some Q&A. Someone's asking about the fear and greed index. I know it went up. It's at 42. 1 point higher than yesterday. We're still not out of fear. That's okay. We're slowly climbing up, right? Certainly not in the greed level. Rich, I don't think he was running the stairs of hell with me, but okay. I saw Do Kwon at Nobu. I doubt it. I doubt it. He's hiding out in Singapore, unless you know, he decided to move out. I doubt it, because authorities are looking for him. Sean, thank you. Saw that. Let's see, what else is there? Nothing. Tiberius says nothing in crypto world is stable other than stable coins. Non-algorithmic stable coins. They're a little bit more stable. Will BlackRock buy BTC over the counter? Of course. I have no doubt they probably have a lot already. We don't know. They don't have to disclose that. That's why I think, you know, the regulators, the SEC, CFTC, is considering asking large hedge funds to disclose crypto exposure. You know, who knows? BlackRock being so public about what they're doing right now tells me that they either accumulated enough or they have their fingers in everything and they're ready to make some money. That's what it's that's what they're telling me. So the fact that they're coming out with so many products, now they partner up with Coinbase Prime. They also came out their own trust. Who knows what's next, right? They're going to come out their own ETF. Maybe they have their application in. Do they hold a lot of Bitcoin? Are they planning on something else, right? Who knows? Hotbit was shut down yesterday by law enforcement. No, I covered it. They shut down withdrawals because law enforcement, some agencies, decided to freeze some of their assets. So they decided to stop withdrawals altogether. But it's still not a good situation. So again, you can never be too careful with your own crypto right now. Getting a wallet would not be a bad idea. Or at least learning how to use a wallet that's not a exchange wallet. If Celsius gets bought out, would that mean we have zero chance of getting our assets back? That's a good question, Johnny. Because Ripple was looking to buy Celsius assets, right? So that means if they buy it, they don't plan on distributing it unless they are, which I doubt. So that's a good question. I think so. I think you hit it on the head. If someone buys their assets, basically they're not going to be distributing. But if they go through Chapter 11, they could restructure, then they could come out with a way to compensate users. But I think if someone buys their assets out, then you lose everything. I think. If there's a lawyer, chime in and comment on that. All eyes on Voyager. Voyager's going through the same thing. But I just covered recently this involvement with Sam Bankman-Fried and Voyager. Very convoluted. And not just like a simple loan. The two has been working together. And it does seem like Voyager's rise and downfall, both caused by Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX and Alameda. So interesting is coming out of the Chapter 11 hearing from Voyager. But hopefully they can find some solution to distribute out. I mean, they said they're going to distribute out the cash that they hold from, depositors. So that's good. That's a start. That's only cash though, not stable coins, not crypto. But everything else, we got to wait and see. Arfan, hey, love you too, man. Thanks for your support every day. What do you think about CHH? Probably not good. Not going to look at that. That just looks silly. Keg, George getting the power to hodl through all of this. That's what I want to hear, right? What I want to do is help you guys get through it. I've been through stuff like this before. I've been through worse. Many people also have, right? But many haven't before. Many are new. Many are fearful, right? So here to help you guys get through it. Are you stacking BNB? Yeah, I am. I think, at times they're boring. Sometimes they're just really boring. Sometimes they just don't move. And then sometimes they do all of a sudden, right? So if you look at the last 60 days, they're moving just as good as Ethereum. So they obviously have been recovering. And overall, you look at where they are at number 5, they're absolutely huge. They're about to surpass USDC soon. If ETH proof of work goes through and it forks, Tether better announce they won't honor the fork Tether or face years of legal trouble. Damon, that's a good point. USDC said they will only support the main chain, not the forked off chain. So I'm pretty sure Tether will follow suit too. It would be stupid of them not to, so they probably will. Opinions on Oasis. Recently, Sean, no, not really. I know they got I forgot the last news. I mean, they look okay, promising L1. I think they formed some big partnership with someone. I forgot who. But still, a smaller project. Has potential, but still very early for them. Ninja, thank you. Oasis is working with Meta? Yeah, well, that's not going to help them because Meta is struggling. Meta is struggling hard. They're losing over 10 plus billion per year on their metaverse play, and they're not making any traction right now. Do you know the reason why Elon sold a lot of Tesla stock? One could guess. Because he may need the money to buy Twitter. He may need it to maybe some of the investors that were going to go in with him, they pulled out, so he needed extra cash. It has something to do with Twitter. Because Twitter suing him. You know, they still want him to buy him out, and some speculate that Elon still wants to buy Twitter. So probably due to that. What was done to your boosted Mustang? Man, you still remember that story, huh? Everything. You know, what didn't I do? You know, the exhaust, I had straight pipes. I had a supercharger on first, then turbocharged. Put 373 in the rear. Got a new transmission. I forgot what you call it, but the ones it's like the manual shifting ones. I forgot which transmission it was. Anyways, racing seats. I mean, everything you could think of. Drag suspension with an airbag in the back. I mean, I screwed with that car plenty. I did so many modifications. Yeah, it was fun. And I did it all in the parking lot of an apartment complex, and somehow I was able to do it and get away with it and not have the car fall on me while I was doing all the work. So that was good. But yeah, eventually I outgrew it. What's your opinion of Handshake and Sidecoin? I'm not familiar with Handshake. Sidecoin, decentralized storage. They also have Skynet. They're trying to do decentralized internet too. Sidecoin has been around for a while. I don't know. I like Arweave better. I like Filecoin better. Sidecoin, kind of neutral on. It was a 95 GT, so the last year, the 5-year pushrod 5-year Mustang. Hey, George, can Solana recover with other projects to its all-time high? Yes. When the market is in full rally, full FOMO mode, people really don't care about fundamentals. People are just buying everything. So I have no doubt that Solana will recover. When the whole market recovers and really rallies hard, they will too. But will they be as strong as before? Possibly not, until they could solve all these network issues, right? These network outages. So we'll see. But I'm pretty sure they will recover. Porsche GT3 all-around best car. I've never driven one. You know, I've always been a 911 turbo guy. I never thought a GT3 was appealing, but recently I've been changing my mind. So I would love to test drive a GT3 and one of the newer 911 turbos, which seem to be ridiculously fast. Someone says 0 chance Sol ever hits all-time high again. I think there's 0 chance of what you just said. Solana will hit all-time high. There's no doubt about it. Best day SUV under 60K in your opinion? I don't know. It depends on how big and if you want EV or not. Before, I would say the Tesla Model Y was the best all-around SUV you could buy. Nothing was really close for that price range. But when I had that opinion, you could have got one in the 50s. Now you can't. Now it's in the 60s. So if you take that out of the equation, it's tough. It's really tough. I'll have to think about it. You know, you could get a mid-size, a fully loaded mid-size SUV that's non-luxury, or you could get a decent luxury SUV, but probably the smaller, compact size, not a mid-size. So again, it really depends on if you're looking for luxury or how big. But if you're looking for like a great all-around SUV, like the Telluride, I still think is fantastic. A fully loaded one is around $50,000, plenty big, drives well. The only thing you have to overcome is it's a Kia. But if you're looking for luxury, like an X3, can't go wrong with that. Yeah, you know, just throw some options out there. Dylan, thoughts on Ethereum? I think Ethereum is really good. I think proof of stake will do them good, mostly because it allows them to scale afterwards and because ETH issuance goes down by 90% afterwards. That is absolutely huge. Very big. Liking your Reacts channel. Thank you, Cal. Try to mix it up, you know. Try to make it interesting. Something different from crypto. Something that'll take your minds off. You know. Hopefully I can expand upon that channel more. Am I getting the Rivian SUV or truck? Truck. I ordered the top model one. Fully loaded with everything. It was like, this was pre their price hike. So hopefully they're still honoring what I ordered it for. But it was close to 100K. I mean, it's very expensive. And I don't know when I'm going to get it. Can ETH go back to 1.5K again? I mean, sure. But why would you want it to? Well, no, I take that back. I know why you want it to, because you want to accumulate more. But, you know, when ETH was under 1,000, what were you doing, man? ETH was like 800, 900 bucks, and it was at like 1,100, 1,200, 1,300 for so many months. Told you guys, DCA, when others are fearful, when things are down, right? You never know where bottom is. I mean, there's a chance it could go back to 1,500, but maybe not. Even at where it is now, under 2,000, is still a bargain compared to where it was, right? So just DCA along the way. I saw the 2022 ANKR Type S. You mean the MDX Type S? I've driven that. Not very impressed with it. I think ANKR overall as a brand is dying. Dying hard. I don't know what ANKR is doing. I saw the new Integra. Looks like absolute shit. And the inside is just a copy of a Honda Civic. So the inside is even worse. And no one is buying the TLX. No one is buying the MDX. RDX was okay, but it's outdated now. They got rid of the the NSX. ANKR as a brand right now is really, really struggling. They don't know what they're doing. And Infinity is even worse. Infinity is probably going to die, right? So in terms of the Japanese, it's just Lexus. Lexus is dominating. Lexus sells more GXs, which has not been redesigned for like 10, 12 years. Sells more of that than a brand new like MDX, right? Because people trust Lexus. They don't trust Acura. And Hondas, honestly, are so good, there's no reason to buy an Acura either. Like a fully loaded Accord is better than a TLX. So I don't know why I didn't want to buy a TLX when you could buy a Accord that's even better. So again, I'm not fond of Acuras. 2022 X6M competition. You know, a lot of those XMs, I mean, I don't know. They look good, but they don't drive really good. And after you drive an EV car, no matter what, like, you know, these turbocharged, you know, M cars, they just don't feel that quick anymore. So, are fun. It looks great, but I don't know if it's worth the money. Acura is down bad. Kia has better looking cars now. I don't disagree with that. IS 350s. IS 350s look nice, but they're really small. I mean, if you're a small person, you don't have a family, it's great. But if you're a bigger person, it's a really small car. Jose says, I feel sad for those who sold Bitcoin at bottom, like Kathy Wood. Sold Coinbase at bottom, sold Block at bottom. I don't know how she sold Bitcoin at bottom, but yeah, I mean, selling Bitcoin under 20, right, was just not wise. You got to figure Bitcoin is much closer to bottom than it is to top. So why would you sell at that point? You've already held through the worst, right? So the only thing to do is really to DCA. You don't want to panic sell while it's low. So, but I mean, of course, it's easier to say now in hindsight, but you know, that's what I've been saying all along. Should I get anything? Should I get a Tesla? Any recommendation for other electric brands? I mean, I currently have a Genesis GV60 right now, which is pure EV, but I'll give you just a preview. I'm not really impressed with it. I drove it around today. I did test a Hyundai Ioniq 5. That's a pretty nice car. Kia also have the EV6, which is a pure EV. Basically, EV6 and Ioniq 5 are sister cars. Both are pretty good EV cars. I would say not just pretty good, really good. They're what I call Tesla Model Y killers. So, and in many ways, they are. They have better quality, rides better. A lot of the things I don't like the Model Y, like the stupid door handles, they fix. They have a digital gauge cluster, which a Model Y does not have. You know, things like that. There's so many things they do better at, but in terms of range and power, not up to Model Y's standard. I went ETH long at 1920. What I do now, hold or close position. I don't know. If you're afraid of a $30 drop, then you probably should not be playing leverage, okay? And you probably shouldn't be day trading either. If Ethereum only down $30 from 1920 down to 1891, and you're asking if you should close it, you probably leveraged a little bit too much, right? You probably leveraged something crazy like 100x and you're losing a lot of money. That's why you shouldn't be doing it. Just don't do it. All right. I'll let you guys go. It's been fun overall. Bitcoin took a little breather, but it looks like it wants to climb right back up above 24,000. Let's see what happens tomorrow, on Friday, and this weekend. We could see a lot more goodness. Right now, I know that a 4 hour is coming down, but if you're looking at a day, still plenty of room to grow. So looking forward to it. Stay strong, my friends. Good things are coming. A lot more great days are coming. So enjoy it. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.